Welcome, everyone. This is Richard Coons, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites, along with my co-host, Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Richard.
On the 24th of October, 2021. Our topic for the day is one that we have never done before, and that is bathing. There are three things that are important to do pretty much at the same time. The analogy is driving an automobile with three clutches. And I know some of you have never driven an automobile with one clutch. So it is a challenge, and it's doable. And why in the hell would you do it? For your life, to get your life back, to be healthy again, to live normally again, to eat normally again. That's why. Not to be awakened at 3 a.m. and having these things in your crotch and your brain. That's why. To be human again. If you can find something out there, go ahead and find it. I mean, everybody's affected to different degrees with Morgellons. Some mildly. They get over it very quickly. They're the lucky ones. Or you might see them on Facebook. Hey, I did this and that was it. It was solved. Okay. But don't expect it to work for you. No way, because Morgellons is very complicated. A lot of cofactors involved. And we've done a lot of different Sunday conferences on the various cofactors, whether it be fungal issues or candida, like we've been doing recently, or 5G, or that's 5G cell phones, or glyphosate, or Strongyloides, or Lyme disease, or worms. There are a lot of different cofactors involved, and suddenly Morgellons becomes the biggest and worst monster that you can ever imagine in your entire life, and it will ruin it, as it has for many. So there are three basic things that are important to do. And before I forget, the FDA requires me to inform everybody here that we are not medical doctors, and that before you start the King Diet or accept any of my recommendations or any of my coaches who coach for free, they devote their time. And why? Gratitude. Gratitude for having gotten their life back, and appreciation for the direction they've gotten. So before you accept any of my recommendations, you're to discuss them with your doctor, who probably told you you're delusional. But hey, you're supposed to discuss them with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. Also, the AMA requires us to tell you that we're not trained doctors. We haven't gone through all those years of training and internship, and we're not capable to diagnose, and we will not diagnose. In fact, there is no diagnosis, medical diagnosis for Morgellons. So we will not diagnose you, give you anything to treat you, cure you, or mitigate your disease. What we are here to do is to educate you, and that's what every Sunday is about, education. And we go a step further. We have people come on that have been in the program a long time, and they share their progress. And what is that? Inspiration. So we love to provide inspiration. We love to hear success stories, and there are so many of them. In fact, we do have several testimonial tapes that I don't know if they're up yet on YouTube or not, but we've been accumulating testimonials. You won't find these testimonials anyplace else because they don't exist anyplace else. This is where you get your life back, time and time again. So the whole program is based on one thing. That's the King Diet. I call it King because it's tops. I guess I couldn't call it ace, but top of the line. It's the only diet that really works. I don't care what other healthy diet you've been on. It could be the Candida diet. Great, but it's not going to do anything for skin parasites. Nada. This diet is very strict. And we've done, I think about 3 weeks ago, we did a conference call about the diet. So look at that, and every email that goes out has a link to the importance of the diet, to that call about the diet. Now, for me, when I first contracted the organisms from pulling a vine out of a pine tree, because the vines kind of suck the life out of pine trees and any tree that they grow on, and I used to do that routinely. And there's this cloud of dust that descended upon me. I thought very little about it, went in, took my shower, cleaned off, thinking that would be the end of it. And 4 days later, almost to the exact time of day, my significant other and I were visiting my mother at her place, and we started itching like crazy. I mean, we looked at each other, what the hell's going on here? We didn't understand it. We were both going nuts with itching. And the only thing we could think of was to submerge our bodies in water, hot water. And so we took turns in a hot bathtub, and that seemed to provide some relief. So for me, it was about, I don't know, maybe a year of extremely hot, near scalding baths, 3, 4 times a day to kind of control things. So bathing has been there from the beginning. And then as time went on, someone had, and after I thought I had tried everything, been to several doctors. I mean, I went to 6, 7 doctors. There have been people on this call that have been to 30 or 40 doctors. You know, what is the definition that Einstein had of insanity? Doing the same thing, expecting different results. Well, I did happen upon one doctor who was familiar with bird mites and how they can infect people, and most doctors will not even acknowledge that. And he happened to be a dermatologist, and he was familiar with the utilization of a medication called Peroxide to alleviate the condition. So, but of the other doctors, we tried everything, nothing worked. And offhandedly, a friend said, well, you know, what about diet? And I thought that was nuts, crazy. I've never been a proponent of diets, never thought that I'd need to restrict. I mean, to me, diet meant restriction, and I don't like to be restricted. So that seemed like a nutty, crazy idea, and why not? I tried everything else. Maybe. Why not? So what do I have to lose? What did I have to lose? I had been in the stress management business for a long time, and I was aware of food sensitivities and how certain foods can create a hypoglycemic reaction. I wasn't dealing with that, obviously, but I knew about what is called an elimination diet. So I decided, well, I'm just going to have eggs. I just pulled them out of the thin air. You know why? I don't know why. I just thought eggs. Yeah, first thing in the morning, eggs. No butter, just fried eggs. And I was amazed. Now, I'm probably one of the lucky ones, and you are very lucky that I was lucky, because the diet worked right away. Within hours, the itching had practically gone to zero. That little light bulb went off my head. Hey, maybe there's something to this diet thing. That became the beginning of 2 years of trial and error, different foods. So went from eggs to eggs with butter, and it was okay. Oh, and we tried potato chips. Oh, that was not okay. Corn chips, that was not okay. So every time I made a mistake, it would send me back to the bullpen, you know, and start over. And the result was the King diet. So that is number one. I don't think anything is going to get life back without this diet. And who wants to bathe in scalding hot water 2 or 3 times a day? I mean, God, you can get dehydrated and collapse and faint getting out of the tub. It's not healthy. So fortunately, in 2013, I happened upon this angstrom technology, which became nature's gift, debriding soap. And the few people that I sent it out and they tried it, well, came an overnight success. So bathing with nature's gift makes it so much easier because you don't need scalding water. And you don't need a lot of the solution, the concentrate. You know, the beginning, you get 4 ounces, and everybody who's on this call, I mean, we must be crazy. We're giving it away today. 4 ounces of 50%, what you would pay $38 for in the store, just by being here at 4 o'clock and being here at the end of the program. You'll get a code, and you can go to the store and get it for free. 4 ounces, 2 caps in a bathtub. And now when you consider how much water a bathtub has, it's a dilution ratio of about 1 to 20,000. 2 caps is about 1/20,000th of the quantity of water that's in that bathtub. And by sitting in that bathtub and washing yourself, everything is wonderful for most people. It cleans. Now, if you're dealing with Morgellons, by the end of the bath, you're going to see all kinds of debris all over the place in the bathtub. That's an indication that you're dealing with Morgellons. That's almost a self-diagnostic tool, if you want, to determine that you're dealing with Morgellons. If you're simply dealing with mites or simply dealing with springtails, now they're not simple organisms, by the way, but if that's it, there's usually no debris, none that's visible, other than the dirt from your body that will build up after many baths if you don't clean the bathtub. So that's basically it. Now, through experience, I learned that the soap, the debriding soap, it extracts the organisms from your skin, does a very good job of that, but it does not kill them. It does not destroy them. At a dilution ratio of 1 to 20,000, it's just simply not enough to destroy them. It goes into the skin, the deeper layers of the skin. I mean, you're familiar with the fact that we all have pores in our skin. A pore is an opening, and inside is like a pocket. And that pocket is surrounded with cells, skin cells. So nature's gift not only goes into the pores, but into the skin cells inside the pores, layers deep. And anything that it finds there, anything that it's in its path, it irritates. It cleans them. It cleans them out to the point that they're irritated that they're going to vacate. They're going to leave. They're going to, have to escape. And they'll come out. And once these organisms come out of your skin, it is possible for them to relocate to another place. And this is where we utilize disinfectants. Now, Chapter 3 is very detailed. Gosh, there must be 15 different things that you can use in the bathtub as a disinfectant. Anything from Pole Shock, which is a chlorine product, not really great for your skin, but very cheap, using an ounce or an ounce and a half in a bathtub of water. You can use borax, a cup of that. That stuff is not that cheap. You can use Epsom salts, anywhere from a cup up to 4 cups. Again, that stuff is not very cheap. But these are typical things that you can use in the bathtub. You can use peppermint oil. That's very inexpensive, and oftentimes when people make their first purchase online, there's an offer to pick up the peppermint oil. It's like a few ounces for like $10, and you use anywhere from 10 to 20 drops in your bathtub. It has a cooling effect. Now, when you're using any essential oil, you can use clove oil, you can use lavender, you can mix the oils. When you're using the essential oils, if you take the dropper and mix them with the Nature's Gift before you put it in a bathtub, it's less likely they're going to be floating on top. So with peppermint oil, for instance, people get a chill, and that's often because the oil is on top and it gives a chill on your skin. So if you disperse it by mixing it with the Nature's Gift, you may find that it's less of a chill, and it will be dispersed throughout the water. So there are other things that you can use, like I say, hydrogen peroxide. That's one of the healthiest things that you can use. Again, you would get a quart for $1 or so at a dollar store and put the whole quart in the bath. Apple cider vinegar, that's fantastic. A cup or a cup and a half, but you wouldn't want to mix it with hydrogen peroxide. So you want to be careful. You can mix these disinfectants, but you want to be careful which ones you mix. You know, the good news is Chapter 3 gives you the complete guide as to which ones you can mix and which ones you can't. Baking soda. You could take a half a box of baking soda and put in. That's a great disinfectant. But you wouldn't want to put in the Pole Shock with it. You know, acid plus a base yields salt plus water. Basic chemistry lesson. So you want to be careful. Never, ever, ever put in ammonia. Ammonia is a neurotoxin. Don't put it on your skin. Oh yes, it'll provide relief and it's going to kill them, but you're starting to kill your brain cells as well. It's a neurotoxin. So we have much safer things to apply to your skin. So in the bath, I recommend a minimum of 30 minutes to ideally 45 minutes. Make it comfortable. I know, you know, set up a candle somewhere, put on some music, relax. You can set up a monitor somewhere and watch something, that's great. Occupy. Make it part of your life. People say, well, I don't have time to. Well, you know how many people wish they wouldn't have said that? The ones that lost their careers because Morgellons got so bad and ruined their lives, and they're sleeping in a car now. Morgellons doesn't give a crap about whether you can afford the time or not. It doesn't. It's you or it. And bathing is an important part of it. There's no way around it. Now, some people say, well, I don't have a bathtub. Well, I've been amazed to find that there are some people who claim success with just showering. They use the bar soap and they get in the shower. They follow the instructions. They wet their skin. They lather up. They turn off the shower for 3 minutes and let it soak in. The concentration of the Nature's Gift is higher in the bar soap. The concentration in Nature's Gift is 18% in the bar soap, compared to 1 in 20,000 in the bathtub. So I can understand why for some people they can get results in the shower. But you're cold for 3 minutes. It's cold standing in that shower for 3 minutes and then rinse off. So ideally 45 minutes, 3 times a day in the bathtub with one of the disinfectants or a mixture of various disinfectants. Now, even so with the disinfectants, some of these organisms are mature enough that the disinfectants won't destroy them either. And before I do move on, it is important that there's a balance between the strength of the disinfectants and your ability to tolerate them. In other words, if you use some of these disinfectants and have too much of it, they too can irritate your skin. They too can burn your skin. So it becomes a dilemma. What's happening? Is it the skin fungus growing on my skin, or is it the disinfectants are too strong? And you got to figure that out. Maybe keep a diary to see what works best for you. Which disinfectants or which combination work best for you. The goal is to get it right so that you can become comfortable taking this bath 3 times a day. Now, yeah, I don't have time. I got a lot of work to do, and I'll never be able to fit it in. Well, I would get up at 5:30 a.m., get it in the tub, fill it up, maybe even sleep an hour. Okay. I would come home at 4 p.m. or 5:30 or 1 at a time into the tub for 45 minutes, before dinner. At 10:30, 11 o'clock, back in the tub. Maybe sleep a little bit. Like I said, make the surroundings comfortable for you. Make it appealing to be there. Some incense, whatever you like. That would be a great place to use our brain fog eliminator with a mister that use clary sage and fulfill the atmosphere with that. That'd be a great place for that. Increases mental acuity, maybe even intelligence. So make it comfortable. Then after you get out of the tub, off to the shower. Using one of the bar soaps, lather up, wash off, then get out of the shower. And now, in the beginning, some people don't use towels. They use cloth towels. They use paper towels, pat themselves dry, and then discard them, throw them away until they get things under control, until they get the disinfecting of their environment and things under managed. So that's what many people often do. When you get to the point where you can use a cloth towel, well, you're going to be laundering it every day. And we've discussed laundering and the importance of how to do that right as well in some of these conference calls. We cover everything in these conference calls. Now, for most people, that's all you need to do. Now, for some people, we go a step further. So after you get out of the shower, you can then take the body wipe. Now, for those of you who are new, body wipe is nothing more than taking the concentrate and adding it to a certain amount of water. So the body wipe is actually about 1 part of concentrate, 100% concentrate, to 72 parts of water. So that's 1 ounce to 72 ounces. So in other words, this concentrate can go a long way. And in the beginning, you will be using more of the concentrate. And starting at 3 baths a day, you'll soon find that as the diet kicks in and you're getting the environment managed, you'll be coming down to 2 baths a day, and then 1 bath a day. And if things go well and you're good at following instructions, you can be to just showers within, 3 weeks perhaps. So the amount of concentrate that you're going to be using gradually shifts down to being very nil. And when you get to your goal, the only concentrate you're going to be using is some stuff you carry with you when you go to the car. But the idea, the goal of the 3 baths a day and what determines 3 baths a day is that you want to be able to get from 1 bath to the next bath with relatively little discomfort. So that's how you judge how many baths a day you need. If you can take 1 bath a day and have very little discomfort for 24 hours before you need another bath, great. Now, between the baths, that's when you want to carry along the diluted Nature's Gift, the body wipe, or any of our creams or lotions that also have Nature's Gift in it to apply to any areas that you notice an issue. So that's the basics about bathing. So when you get out of the shower, you then apply the body wipe and put on your clothes and off you go. Now, in more resistant parasites, and you may need to take a step further. And I've asked Robin to go through what she's done what she's had to do after she's gotten out of the shower. In other words, this program is from A to Z. So far we've gone up A to maybe P. Now, Robin's going to take it from P to Z. Okay, Robin.
Okay. Well, first I want to say that I actually stopped using towels and got Viva paper towels, which are really kind of soft and almost cloth-like. Because if you're dealing with mites or fleas or bed bugs or Morgellons as well, they get into anything cloth, and they like fluffy, soft stuff. So instead of having to wash towels every day, I just used paper towels. I haven't gone back to towels yet, even though I don't have any symptoms currently. But so after the bath, after the body wash, I would create my own, and I know that Anna and Nick want to share their stories about bathing as well. But what I did was created my own mixture, and I started with, I had like a 2 or 3 cup plastic container, and I would use at least, I want to say a full cup of coconut oil for the base, and then I would add a 1/4 cup of the following: organic neem oil, peppermint oil, clove oil, tea tree oil, and eucalyptus oil. In addition, I would add a good squirt of Nature's Gift Debriding soap and a tablespoon of diatomaceous earth. Mix it all together, and then I would slather it all over my body, head to toe. Rub it in really hard. It was amazing how much stuff would come out. And then sometimes, well, when I first started doing it, I'd have to take another shower because there was so much stuff coming out. And then I would pat diatomaceous earth on top at the end. And I would do that twice a day. And when I first started doing it, it would literally take 3 hours. So, you know, I haven't taken a bath in a long time. I take a shower, and I still put the oils on me, but it takes about 10 minutes. Nothing comes out. But that was the process. And then because, you know, they get in your hair, so I would take, I would use very tiny plastic bags and tie them around my head, sleep like that every night, and during the day, if I was going to be home all day, I'd put that on during the day. Otherwise, I'd wear like a cancer cap or a different kind of hat that, you know, maybe a kerchief that I'd tie over the plastic bag, so that my head was constantly covered by essential oils, Nature's Gift, and diatomaceous earth. And it took months. But that's what I did. I want to say that in the baths, I would take 2 to 3 baths a day for at least a half an hour, and I put in the peppermint oil. I always use the apple cider vinegar because it kills fungus, and I never had a problem with fungus, but just soaking in a tub can create a problem with fungus. The Epsom salts and the Nature's Gift Debriding soap, and I would use a splash of antibacterial Dawn dish detergent because it would make it like a bubble bath. So that was fun.
Yes, I'm glad you talked about the scalp, because that becomes a total topic just by itself, right. Dealing with the scalp, and we've done several calls on that. You know, you just don't stand in a bowl for 45 minutes on a headstand to keep your scalp wet, and it is important. So, yeah, thank you. Do we have anybody who has any questions?
Yeah, I have a question about a Clorox. Can I use a Clorox liquid bleach together with NG soap in a bath?
No.
No?
It's just really harsh.
How much of it I can
But
use?
I don't.
And some people have a reaction to just breathing bleach. The fumes from it are really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it can irritate your skin.
Okay, I was thinking
I would stay away from bleach.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a couple of tablespoons and see how it works.
I don't think that's, I mean, I think you'd be better off with adding more different essential oils.
I don't see any benefit.
Yeah, I'm slightly allergic to essential oils. If I use it in a tub, they give me UTI infection. I already had one recently, so kind of difficult using essential oils. I'm sensitive
Which
to
essential oils did you use? Which ones?
I use peppermint and clove together, or just peppermint alone.
And you're sure that's what caused your infection?
Yeah.
Because they're antiseptic. They disinfect things. I find it hard to believe that they would cause an infection.
I don't know. Maybe just taking a bath too often gives me UTI infection.
Right, and that's why you would want to make sure you use the apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Exactly. Apple cider vinegar.
But
apple cider vinegar is far more beneficial than bleach.
At least a cup. At least a cup of apple cider vinegar. You could go to 2 cups if you need to.
But what about those snow fleas? I have calambola. Can I still use apple cider vinegar?
Yeah, you can't eat apple cider vinegar, but you put it in your bath, and it kills fungus, and it kills other things, and it would prevent an infection like you're talking about.
What about calambola? Calambola is still okay if I use...
Absolutely. You can use it on your skin, you can use it in the tub, you just can't ingest it.
Okay. Okay, I'll try that. Apple cider vinegar, yes, okay.
It's really important. I would never take a bath without apple cider vinegar.
Okay. I thought calambola was not good for apple cider vinegar.
Right, if you're eating it.
Okay.
Ingesting it.
Okay.
That's why we use lemon juice instead of vinegar. No vinegar is okay.
I do.
But you can put apple cider vinegar in the bath. It's a great antifungal disinfectant.
Okay. Just 1 cup?
Start with 1 cup. You could, if you still are having, I mean, I never used more than a cup, but you can use more if you need to. But I would always use it, always. And it doesn't have to be the fancy Mother's apple cider vinegar. I just would buy a gallon of cheap apple cider vinegar. It still works.
Okay, I have some actually on hand. I have some.
Yeah. You just can't drink it.
Great.
Okay.
Who else?
Can Robin repeat what she said as far as the stuff she put in the neem oil, the eucalyptus? Because I was writing it down. She was going pretty fast.
Oh, sure. Okay, so...
Yeah, sure, and it's going to be on video.
Right, but I'll say it one more time. You start with a base of coconut oil. Now, you cannot eat coconut oil either. The only oil you can have on the diet is rice bran oil, which you can get at Richard's store or on Amazon. But you cannot eat any other oil. They will activate parasites. But you can put them on your skin. So I used a base of coconut oil because it's very healing and your skin loves it. And then I would add a quarter, and I used about a cup. And then I got Actually, Home Depot sends sells fairly reasonable jars of organic neem oil that I found. So I would use a 1/4 cup of neem oil, a 1/4 cup, and I would buy large quantities. I'd buy like 16-ounce jars of these essential oils online. And they were a 1/4 cup of each of the following: peppermint, clove, tea tree, and eucalyptus. Peppermint, clove, tea tree, and eucalyptus oils. And then I would add a heavy squirt of Nature's Gift debriding soap and a tablespoon of food-grade diatomaceous earth.
Okay. Thank you.
And that mixture would last a week or two. Okay. I'd mix up large quantities because I didn't want to have to mix it all the time.
Okay. And what did you put in the scalp before you put the plastic bags on?
What I just told you. I put that all over, head to toe.
Oh, okay. Because I know you said when you were at home you put the plastic bags on. I didn't know if you leave that in your hair.
Yeah, I would leave that in my hair. And before I did it, I'd put extra Nature's Gift right in my hair, straight.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
Nick, you can go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I just got to say the bathing is a big crucial of the the whole protocol. Part of the protocol, the diet, but the bathing. I used to bathe with. Whatever it said in the book. If I tried different things. If it said borax, I would try that. I would try the debriding soap. I would definitely always use apple cider vinegar all the time. I would have my water very hot. Everybody's different, but I wanted to try to get rid of it. Have some relief as soon as possible. So I did whatever the book said. If you read the book, that's what I did.
That's right. Reading the book is pretty important.
And then talking to, Robin and having a consultation with Richard and, listening to what they have to say, their experiences.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Great. Anybody else?
My question is in diagnosis. Outside of itching, what other symptoms should I look for?
Diagnosis?
Yeah, outside of itching, what other symptoms should I look for?
Fiber.
Well, filaments. Itching can be any one of 100 different problems. Filaments determine whether or not you are dealing with Morgellons. Filaments and fibers coming out of your skin. Now, for us hairy guys,
sometimes you can't see them with the naked eye. And one way to test for that is you take when you shower, you rub debriding soap all over your body, let it dry, and then use a lint roller on your skin and look at it under a very strong magnifying glass. If you see little fibers and hair-like things, that's Morgellons.
And you're not suggesting to take apple cider vinegar internally?
No.
Why not?
Apple cider vinegar feeds columbola or springtails, and something like, what is it, Richard? 85% of people with Morgellons have springtails. Springtails are often a vector. 90%. They carry Morgellons.
Less than
11 to right. ACV has been a very strong part of my diet. I don't use oils, cooking oils. I use very, very, very minimal cooking oils.
The diet, hold on, I'm going to interrupt you. So there's plenty of good diets, but there's a diet that Richard created that's in his book that is very specific to skin parasites. And it works if you work it. And it doesn't matter. There's a zillion great diets out there, but they're not going to do what the diet in Richard's book does. So you need to read that diet, and then you need to get it to work for you.
Now, apple cider vinegar is very healthy if you only have Morgellons. If you are also dealing with springtails, columbella, apple cider vinegar, and coconut oil will feed them and make conditions worse of itching and biting.
Right.
That's explained in Chapter 4.
Okay.
In fact, in Chapter 4, it gets into the idiosyncrasies of the differences between what you can eat if you only have Morgellons. For instance, blueberries are probably good for you if you only have Morgellons, but if you have columbella, no good. You can have avocado if you only have Morgellons, but not if you have columbella, springtails. They have their own desired food preferences. And 90% of the people that I examine their questionnaires, they respond to the questions that indicate that they're not dealing just with Morgellons, but both. It is rare that I find someone that has only columbella and not Morgellons, or vice versa. Only 10 out of 100.
I have a comment about it. I don't know if you can hear me. It's Leslie in Vermont.
Yep. I hear you.
So on one of the emails that came through, I'm saying this because it helped me so very, very much. It said to take 1 capful of debriding soap plus 20 drops of Nature's Gift or of peppermint oil. I'm sorry, a capful of Nature's Gift and 20 drops of peppermint oil. Mix them together. Once they're mixed together, then you put them in the bathtub and they disinfect, and you don't feel cold like you would if you only put the peppermint oil in separately. And I have loved that, and every time I wash my hair in the bathtub, I do that every single time. If I don't have half an hour, I don't do it. But if I'm going to be soaking, having those 20 drops of oil, either in the 2 capfuls of the one that you have to dilute or the 1 capful of the, 100% strength, whatever you call it, having those 20 drops of peppermint oil mixed into that Nature's Gift soap really, really makes it nice to be in a hot bathtub and not feel cold at the same time. So I got that from your emails, and I just wanted to share it because this is the topic we're talking about.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I did mention that earlier, and thank you for confirming that. Thank you.